Okay, I'm back on. I don't know what happened with, I got kicked off Instagram. Okay, and I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. When you start uncovering all of these rules like I wanted you to do yesterday, and you start seeing how much of your focus is on all of the things that you want to change in this person, I then work with my clients to try to see the other side, right? To try to find the things that they do and can appreciate about them or love about them. And oftentimes when we start uncovering that list, that feels so much better, but sometimes there's always the but, right? So notice that. If I ask you right now, so think of that person, hold that person in your mind, that is the one you want to improve your relationship with. And when I ask you to think of something you love about them or something you appreciate about them, and if, as you think through it, so take some time to think about it, I'll give you a second here. As you think about it, does your mind want to take you to, yeah, but he doesn't do this. Yeah, but she doesn't do this. Yeah, but that doesn't count if they're not doing this. Yeah, I know that's great, but that's not what I need. That's not what I want. And my mind went there all the time. And when I started seeing, like, oh my gosh, Emily, you're trapping yourself. You're the one doing this. I was completely blocking myself off to so much love available to me. Because even when I could think of the things that I loved and appreciated about my husband, those other thoughts were so strong and so practiced that but this, but that came so soon after, none of it felt good. But in recognizing that, when I started recognizing that that's what was happening, that I was trapping myself in this belief that he had to change in order for us to be happy, in order for me to be happy. And when I started seeing how much I was missing with all of the negative thoughts I had about him, then I was able to reshift my focus slowly and over time. It did not happen overnight. And that's something really, really important. You have to give yourself time. You have to be patient with this process of improving a relationship. But when you start recognizing that you totally have blocked yourself off to really sitting in and experiencing and soaking up those feel-good emotions, those feel-good thoughts in your relationship, as you are with the negative ones. Right now, you're sitting in, you're soaking up all of those negative thoughts about that person in your life. They come so quick to you because you've practiced them so much. But I promise you, all of those things that you love and appreciate about that person, you can sit and enjoy and soak in all of those thoughts too. You just have to start practicing them more. You just have to start practicing them more. And I have so many tools and so many exercises to help my clients do this, because it's easier said than done. Like, oh, hey, just change your focus. Just start focusing on what you love about the person and not what you hate about the person. Good, easy, done. Essentially, yeah, it is that. But there's tons of writing exercises and actual challenges that I give my clients to do to work through these things. But first you have to uncover what you're doing in the first place. So you have choices. You have a choice here in your relationship, okay? Picture that person again. You can choose to keep the suck it up and settle mindset. You can. It's a choice. You can choose to think that this sucks. I want to be with this person, or I want this person in my life. I really do. Or else you want to be listening to me right now. You want to improve this relationship. But great. I essentially, I can't change them. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. So I just have to be happy with how everything's going right now. Well, that is actually an option. You create your own happiness, not the other person. And the other person is also not creating your misery, your frustration. You are also creating your misery and frustration. So that's choice one. You can stay and stick in that mentality, and you will continue to be frustrated and continue to build this story up in your head and continue to focus on all of the things you don't like about this person rather than all of the many things you could find that you do enjoy about this person. It's up to you. So then the second option is you can decide to reshift your focus. You can decide to do the work to uncover your manual, your rules, your expectations for the person. And you can have such awareness around those things that when they come, you know that your brain's about to take you on the runaway negative train to where you feel unloved and resentful and angry and whatever else. And once you have uncovered that rule book, you're going to be in more awareness about when that train's about to go, and you can stop it. And then once you stop it, then you can work on all of those things you love and appreciate about that person. And I make you do lists, and we talk it out, and we uncover things that maybe you didn't even realize, which is such an amazing thing to do in coaching sessions, because there's a moment when the client says something and I say it back to them, and then they think, it's so different when I hear it back. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I didn't notice that, or I can't believe, I see exactly what I'm doing now in my own brain. And a lot of times they want to be hard on themselves then and get frustrated, but that doesn't help either, because we all do this. We all do this. And then once you've started to uncover this negative story, this suck it up and settle mentality about your partner or whoever it is that you're focused on, that you want this relationship to improve, then we start doing the coaching and the work around lovingly communicating your wants and desires. And we talked a lot about that yesterday. I want you to be able to tell this person exactly how you feel and exactly what you would like. But remember from yesterday, the key to the success of this is lovingly asking for what you want, lovingly communicating and expressing your feelings, but then releasing the attachment of your emotional well-being to them actually doing what you say. And when you start learning this loving communication with your partner or with your mom or dad or whoever it is, and you're not suppressing these things, you're not trying to make them guess what you want, because a lot of times we do this too. We think the other person should just know. They should just know better. They should just know that this is what we want and this is how we need things done. I don't want to have to tell them. Well, that shit is, you're going to lose every time. Get over it and start asking for what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. If you make it mean that they should already know, you're screwed. They shouldn't. They have their own mind, their own thoughts, their own beliefs, their own history, their own things. It's hard enough for us to manage our own emotions. Don't expect somebody else to do it for us. It's hard enough for us to get our own thoughts in order. Don't expect somebody else to do it for us. Okay? So, with that being said, I want you guys to really dig deep into understanding, uncovering that manual, and really noticing if your mind is going to, okay, I guess I just have to suck it up and settle. I guess that I just have to I just have to find a way to, not hate them anymore because they're not going to change. Which it's kind of how it goes. But I promise you, when you really start applying this work and you start lovingly making requests, when you start really expressing yourself in a way that you're heard, most of the time, I cannot guarantee it, but it definitely worked in my relationship. And there's still tons of things that I have a manual for him for and for other people in my life, but I see it now. I recognize it, and I know that I have a choice. to either really hyper focus on that and make it mean something negative about them, or release it and know that I'm responsible for how I'm feeling right now, and I want to maintain this relationship and I want it to be loving and happy, and so I'm gonna manage myself in order to do that, because I get to control how I feel. And that is such a powerful thing, but I promise you, most of the time, your relationship does start to shift. And that is because your perception shifts about the person. And so it's a win-win. Even if they don't start texting you goodnight, or, changing the baby's diaper, or picking up the wet towel, or being more lively around your friends and family, or whatever else it is that's going on, even if they don't change those behaviors, your perception of them has changed, that you notice them less, or you start appreciating other things more, or that very thing doesn't even bother you anymore, which is the amazing thing. I love it when that happens. And the flip side of the coin is it is absolutely possible that that person genuinely starts doing the things that you like them to do, because they have found that it helps your relationship if they're doing it from a place of love, not from a place of force. If you are forced into doing something you don't want to do and you're just doing it to make the other person happy, what does that do? It creates resentment. But if you know that your partner, mother, father, friend likes to do certain things, prefers certain things, enjoys it, and you've learned that about them because they've expressed it to you calmly and lovingly, and then you decide on your end, I don't prefer to do that, but I know she likes it, so I'm totally fine with doing it, and you know what? It makes our relationship as a whole better. And that is what has happened in my marriage. 100%. We still work on it all the time, but Max and I have these conversations all the time. Like, a little thing will happen and both of us are over here like managing our minds alone, and then we come together and we talk about, and I just say, okay, I have to just say this. I was totally annoyed a second ago, but I got in my head and I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter. I can absolutely, get up and make him a tea, even though he just saw me sit down to read my book and asked me the moment I sat down and got comfortable to make him a tea. Like, why the hell would he do that? And I'm in my head the whole time, and I'm like, you know what, it's just gonna feel so good to get up and make him a tea right now. And then I go and do it, and then I tell him the story, and then we laugh about it. And then he does that shit to me too. Like, when you asked me this, I was really annoyed in my head, but then you know what, I just thought I'm gonna do it. And it's because we've done this work together versus just being a total nag and a bitch about it and expressing myself in a way that it's heard, very negatively on his end. And so of course he's not going to want to do the things that I would like him to do because I'm being so mean about it, and vice versa. So I promise you, this can totally shift your relationship. Of course it helps if you're both on board together, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible for one person to do the work, because absolutely it is. Your perception will shift. So I hope that was helpful. This was my little spiel on relationships. I have so much more stuff around this, and obviously when you work with me one-on-one or in a group setting, there's a lot more support. There's a lot more specific personal examples that you can give me that we coach through on the go. And if you liked this, and I know that the full training is here in my private Facebook group, so if you want to see it, Instagram cut me off, so you're only getting half of it. But this is just a taste of some of the stuff that I'm going to dive deep into in my group coaching program. It is going to be so fun. You get to have a support of other women that are going through the same thing in their relationships, or the relationships with themselves, or whatever it is, and we get to come together and share all of that with each other. So if you like this and you want a more affordable coaching program, then the Soulfully Abundant You group coaching program, we start in September. So that is very, very soon. That's like 12 days away. So less than 2 weeks away. And I am going to, there's a link to apply for this group coaching program. I will review the link. We'll get on a consult call to talk about it more. And it is, I think that's about it. So that link is in my bio on my Instagram, and I will drop it here in my Facebook group. And I hope that this was helpful, and please DM me, let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to have a little date night with myself. Ooh. And here, and